Hey there folks, welcome back to Is That Right Gaming. My name is Rob. Today we're going to do a What's in the Box. We're going to take a look at a small card game called Gosh Darn Bubbles. I actually have opened other copies of this. We recently picked one up because we left my copy with my sister and her son in North Carolina when we went out there. It is very cool, very simple to learn. Plays really quickly. It says 5 to 20 minutes on the back here, and you know what? I think that's pretty accurate. 2 to 6 players, ages 14 and up. Honestly, I don't know why it would be 14 and up. You could definitely play this with younger kids. This is from Sandwich Bag Games. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, and we're going to see what's in the box. Gosh darn bubbles. Hey there folks, welcome back to the table. We are going to take a look now at one of my favorite kind of light filler card games. This is Gosh Darn Bubbles from Sandwich Bag Games. Basically it calls itself an underwater treasure hunt. So this game, basically what you're trying to do is get 3 treasures before your opponents do. And you do that typically by playing a card called Sunken Chest, which allows you to draw 3 more cards. And as long as you don't draw the gosh darn bubbles, you get to take a treasure. Do that 3 times, you win the game. Pretty simple, straightforward. What I will say is that there are a lot of cards that do different things, like make you trade your hand, make everybody discard cards. Certain cards allow you to take cards from other players. It's really cool, light filler card game. So we take a look at the back here. Whispers tell of sunken chests filled with treasure scattered throughout a mystic sea, with many clever animals calling its sparkling waters home. Some of the animals consider the sunken chests a nuisance and are happy to help you take them away. Other animals consider you a nuisance and are more interested in making your search as difficult as possible. The sea itself is alive as well, using bubbles to tease and toy with unwanted adventurers. If you plan on claiming the treasure, you are a braver soul than I. Captain Sandwiches. So this game was designed by Sanchez Michaels. Looks like it has 108 cards in this box. That does include the treasures, of which there are more than you'll probably need in a game. So yeah, this says 2 to 6 players. I don't think it's game breaking to play with more than that, and it doesn't really change the length of the game. In fact, it might make it shorter because somebody might actually get 3 treasures sooner. 5 to 20 minutes, ages 14 and up, and Sandwich Bag Games. We're going to go ahead and open up Gosh Darn Bubbles. And we'll do like Logan says and cut away from ourselves. I don't have a good habit of that, but it's always a good habit to get into. So, pop this open, and we'll take a look at Gosh Darn Bubbles. Here's our rule sheet. Pretty simple, straightforward, really light though, so it's going to be a little hard for you to read. Casual, lighthearted, underwater-themed card game that's easy to learn. That is very true. And then it goes through what everything looks like. Goal of the game, get 3 treasures, how to set up, taking your turn, how a turn order goes. So basically, on your turn, you play a card out of your hand. And when you play it, you reveal it, and you do what it says on it. And then it gets placed in the discard pile, unless it were to stay out. So if for some reason you don't have a card in your hand, then the next thing you would do is just draw up to your hand size, which is the end of the turn. You reset your hand to your maximum hand size. which is 3 cards typically, but there are cards that will increase your hand size. So, you don't discard cards until the end of your turn. So if for some reason you ended up with more cards than you can hold, like your neighbor had it and then they pass the cards to you, you keep that hand size until the end of your turn, and then you would draw up to normal. And if you still have 3, then you wouldn't draw cards. So, there is that. Very, very cheap cardboard insert, but you're not going to need anything bigger for, or more sturdy for just a simple card game such as this. So we have a couple of decks here. This one's actually got the treasures mixed in. You might be able to see on camera that it kind of comes across right here. So we're going to open up the bigger deck first, take a quick look through these cards. Like I said, there's not a lot to it. Each card is going to tell you exactly what you need to do on a turn. So you go ahead and just play a card from your hand and then do what it says, then draw up to your maximum hand size. So like here we have Duck with an Afro. It allows you just to play the top card off the top of the deck, and you just do whatever happens there. Extra Tentacle allows you to have an extra card in your hand. Bubble Seal Lock forces people to draw 6 cards instead of 3. Although if you double up, it would be even more. But what's important there is that you're making it harder for your opponent to get those treasures. Frog Eat Frog. You reveal the top card of the deck and then choose if you want to keep it or take the next card. So there's all these fun cards that you can play. They're a little hard to read, unfortunately. But like Jerkface Shark is a great way to stop your opponent too, because you can discard 1 card placed in front of any player. That includes treasures. It's the one way that you can force your opponent to get rid of treasures. So check out these dolphins. Draw 3 cards from the deck. Whirlpool, discard your hand, then draw 2 cards from the deck, and that's everybody at the table. Whoop. So here we have Gold Digging Killer Whale. Reveal the top 3 cards of the deck. If any sunken chests are revealed, you get to play one of them. The rest get discarded. Here's another way to stop your opponent. This is another one. This is you force them to get another treasure to win the game. But Jerkface Shark and a couple other things can get rid of this card. So if somebody's at 3 and you block them with another one, all they have to do is get one of these cards that allows them to discard it, and they win. So yeah, Significant Otters. Reveal the top 3 cards of the deck, add 1 of them to your hand, then choose another player. That player adds 1 of the remaining cards to their hand, discard the other. Pirate Manta Ray, another way that you can block your opponents. This allows you to steal a treasure from an opponent. Fair Winds, pass their hand 1 player clockwise. Bet on Beta. I'm not going to read this card, but basically what it tells you is you pull 3 cards. If you get no bubbles, you get to take a treasure. But if you draw bubbles, everybody at the table gets to discard bubbles from their hand. So that includes you. So it's kind of a beneficial thing there. This is a card, Lock Rocker Penguin here. What it does is it allows you to place it in front of any player, although I don't know why you'd put it in front of anybody but yourself. Anytime that player plays a sunken chest and does not receive a treasure from it, they may discard this card to play that sunken chest once more. So if you were to get bubbles, you could use this card to again go through and have a chance at maybe getting it the second time. Organized Axolotl. Take one non-treasure card placed in front of any player and place it in front of any other player. Well, any player in general. So, basically what you're looking at there is you could take, like, if somebody's further away from winning now, you could use the organized Axolotl to grab another one from someone, as an example, and put it in front of the person who's next nearest to win. Or you could steal, say, the Lock Rocker Penguin we just saw. Sneaky hand, take another player's hand, add it to yours, and that player draws 2 cards from the deck. This is a fun one. A moment together. So you choose another player, and then you go back and forth. You start drawing cards from the deck, and the first one to draw a sunken chest gets to play that card. And then you draw 3 cards, and if you didn't get bubbles, you'd get a treasure. Plunder and Pufferfish allows you to look at everyone's hands and steal any sunken chests. Picky Piranha, you can take a card out of somebody's hands. Get those put away and open up this other deck. And you're pretty much looking at the same thing. I'll show you the treasure cards really quickly. And those treasure cards are all the same. So here's the backside of the Gosh Darn Bubbles treasures cards. Yeah, so it says treasure, and then it says place this card in front of you when you receive it, +1 to your treasure total. If this card is discarded, return it to the treasure pile instead. So they're all the same, and your goal is to get 3 of them. Unless you have another one, then you have to have 4. Of course, there are 2 another ones, so somebody could be really mean and make you get 5 to win. Though I think that pretty much seals your fate. Alright. So we got some more here. Looks like these are the bubbles and sunken chests for the most part. So there's your sunken chest card. This is the important card in the game. You're trying to get treasures, but the dreaded bubbles cards that do nothing. It actually says do nothing. Prevent you from getting any sort of treasure. Alright, so there are those. And then there are 3 other fun cards here. There are only 3 of them in the game. Or only 1 of them in the game, I should say. 1 of each. So what's cracking, y'all? Allows you to draw 8 cards off the top of the deck. If any sunken chests are revealed, you get to play them. So if you drew, and this very unlikely, 8 sunken chests, you'd get to play all 8 of them. I have seen this come up, and people go from losing to winning. It's rare, but it does happen. This card can change the way a game's going, but it can also just be really funny to watch somebody draw 8 cards and get no sunken chests, which has happened to me many times. Here we have 4 turtles. Reveal the top 4 cards of the deck, then play each of them in the order they were revealed. And that could be anything. I've seen people draw mostly bubbles for that too. And then making a splash, discard up to 1 non-treasure card placed in front of each player. Discard 1 random card from each other player's hand, then play the top card of the deck. That's pretty powerful. The only problem with that card is it tells you to do that. So if somebody has 3 treasures and they're sitting on another one, playing that card makes them win. It kind of funny, but it's important to know that playing that card could make somebody win theoretically. But yeah, that's Gosh Darn Bubbles. Great fun filler game, and thematic in its own way. A lot of fun. Definitely recommend you check this out. There are copies available at Black Rowan Games in Tracy, California. Check them out at blackrowangames.com. And then you can look up Sandwich Bag Games as well. So yeah, that's Gosh Darn Bubbles. Good luck in hunting for treasures, and have a great rest of your day.